Schoology, and it will come up in your Google bar. You click on it, and this is the page that you should be seeing. First, I should be asking, is everyone seeing my screen? Just a raise hand or indicate so that Mrs. Brown Dawson will know whether or not. All right, so if you're not seeing my screen, just indicate. All right, so this is your page. Now, if you have a Schoology account already, then you simply go to login. If you don't, then you would go to sign up. You're an instructor, so you're signing up as an instructor. All right, because I already have an account, some of the information is there. So you would put in your first name, your last name, a working email address, and you would create a password for your account, confirm that password, tick I'm not a robot, tick by clicking register, you are agreeing, you need to tick that box, and then you click on register. Sorry about that. So I'll give you a few minutes for you to create your account. Once you have created your account, just indicate in the chat with your raised hand so that we know that we can move on.
Go ahead, Ms. Homer. Ms. Somers, your hand is raised. You can go ahead. Your mic is open.
Good morning. I'm okay.
Okay. So take your hand down.
No.
Okay.
Miss Minto?
All right. Are the raised hands to say that you have created your accounts? And so we're ready to go on.
Okay.
I think that is what it is indicating.
Mm-hmm.
How many participants do we have now logged in?
63. We have 63.
All right, so only about 4 persons have created their accounts. I'm going to give you 2 more minutes to create your accounts, and then I will move on.
Turn that down, please. You're gonna want me to.
Please remember to keep your mics muted.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair. The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
All right, so once you have created your account, then you would sign in. Because I have an account already, I am just going to sign into my account and log in.
I see there's a question in the chat, Miss Dawson.
Mhm.
You have to follow the chat
I
to
am,
respond.
I am,
Somebody
I
is
am,
saying that she doesn't have an account.
I am attending to the questions.
Thanks, lot. Okay.
Right. I've been answering the questions, Ms. Wilmot.
All right, so sorry. All right, so here, when you go into Schoology, sorry. So when you go into Schoology, if you click on the word Schoology, you are at your home page. And it will tell you your recent activities. It has your course dashboard. So here, if you click on course dashboard, it will show you the courses that you have created. Now, Upgrade is basically a paid version of Schoology. I find that the free version works pretty well. I am not sure. I think apps and so on come with the Upgrade, but I've found that the free version has everything that you basically need. So if you would like to explore upgrading, then you can do that. All right, courses. Sorry. My courses is where you're going to go in order to manage your course, create a course, join a course. And when it says join a course as a teacher, you can join a course of another teacher at your institution. So you can join your course. Now, if you're creating a course, you will click on create course. Is it not? Okay. And you would fill in the course name. So for example, if I say grade 12 chemistry. So if you're a primary teacher, you may want to say grade 5, grade 6. If you're a secondary teacher, then you may want to do it according to grade level, or you may want to do it according to classes specifically. So I may decide that for grade 12, I am going to do it by modules. So this will be module 1. Subject area, it's a science. Level, grade 12, and I create. So you fill in the information. So here's now my new course, grade 12 chemistry, module 1. So if you could go ahead and create a course, anything that you would like. Now for the primary teachers, because when you create the course, note to the left here where my cursor is, I have an access code. That is the code that you're going to send to the students. The students are then going to go in and they are going to put in the access code. And once they've put in the access code, then they will enroll in your course. So I'm going to just go and show you one of my courses that is already populated. So that's grade 10. Here is their access code. When I was sending out, I had a WhatsApp group with my students. So all I did was to take a picture of the access code and place it in the WhatsApp group. When you click on members, it will tell you here are all of the members of this course, including myself. And this simply means that I'm an administrator. So these are the members of my course. Now, for me, initially, what I did was that I did not tick require approval. So it was open. Once they had the access course, the access code, they could access the course. After a few days, having sent it out, I went in and I checked the list and ensured that the persons who were in this course should be there and that there was no duplication. When you tick require approval, what that means is when they attempt to access, an email is sent to you, you come in, you look at your notifications by clicking on this bell, and you will see requests. So you have notifications and you have requests. When you click on requests, you will see the persons who are asking to access your course. Now, I teach boys, and the boys like to attempt to duplicate themselves in the class. The main reason, when you set an assessment, you may set it for one attempt. And what they want to do, some of them want to do, is to be able to do the test 2 and 3 times. So they create alternative accounts and they go into the class and they will be able to do the assessment more than once. So I click require approval after I've cleaned up my register so that anyone else who would like to join my course cannot automatically join. All right?
Mrs. Hall,
Yes.
I have, there are some teachers who are saying that they were told to create the course. They are still creating the course.
Okay.
So if you could just give them a minute or so.
Okay. Not a problem.
Okay.
Miss McCook Walker also has her hand up. Your mic is open, Mrs. Walker. You can go ahead and ask your question. Mrs. McCook Walker, you have your hand up. Remember, you teachers, you put your hand up when you have a question, and the whole Mrs. Brown Dawson and Miss Hall will indicate to you. But if you put your hand up by accident, just be cognizant of it and take it down, because your hand up means that you want to say something.
Please indicate in the chat to Mrs. Brown Dawson when you have completed creating your course so that we can move on.
Answer the question, please.
Okay, can we move on? Because
No.
I am not, okay. There
I
are
have a
still
question.
some persons creating their courses. We'll give you another 2 minutes.
I have a question.
Okay. You can type your question in the chat.
I did, but I did not get a response.
I'm not, okay. Who is this person? Nardia?
Jesus.
Mrs. Hale Smith, go ahead with your question. One of the parties.
Thank you. Good morning, colleagues.
Morning.
Mrs. Ellis All, I am not seeing the icon that you said upgrade. I'm not seeing it on my account. Why? Because I created a Schoology account when I was going to university, so I'm using it right now. All I see on my screen is Schoology, courses, groups, resources, grades. That's all I'm seeing.
Did you create that account was as a student?
I guess, yes, maybe that was what I did.
So you need to create a new account as an instructor.
As an instructor, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I sent that message to everyone. Please check the messages.
Well,
where
it's
it-
very hard to be listening and checking, so that's why I did not get an opportunity to check while
Okay.
Mrs. Ellis all speaking. It's going to be very
Okay.
complicated. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, no problem.
We're ready to move on as yet, Mrs. Brown Dawson.
All right, let me check to see how many. I am still not seeing the persons who are ready to move on. There's no hand up. So maybe you need to ask the question orally so they can start raising their hands if they're ready to move
Yes. So for the next minute and a half, I will take the raised hands to indicate that you're ready to move on. So you can just raise the hands. Right. So I'm seeing 3 participants already.
3 participants.
4.
Okay.
5. Okay. It seems as if quite a few persons are ready to move on.
Only 5 persons.
7, 8.
I think they are having challenges navigating both screens as I'm getting from the chat group.
Okay.
Only 8 persons are ready.
Nine. All right, let me go back again to courses and how it is that we create our courses. So if most persons are on their account, then you go to My Courses, you go to Create a Course, So you can put your grade level, the specific subject area on the course name, whatever it is you want the students to see when they go in as the course name, then you can put it there. So grade 12 chemistry again. And this time the section. So you could say grade 10 chemistry, grade 11 or grade 10 social studies, or grade 5 if it's a grade 5. The section name is specific to the group that you want or to an area that you want. So it could be, here I have module 2 because I'm creating for grade 12 by modules. All right. You could decide that you're going to create a course that is called grade 5 math. But if you do that, it means that each of your subject area, if you're a primary teacher, would have a different access code. And I don't think you necessarily want the children to have different access codes. But let's say you're a Spanish teacher, a PE teacher, teaching at a primary school and you're teaching several different levels. Then you could say grade 5 PE, and then the section name could be 5L for whichever class, 552 or so on. So the section name will give an indication of who specifically it is for. Again, my subject area falls on the sciences, and my grade level is grade 12. So I create. All right. My access code for that particular course is found to the left, and I can take a picture and send to my students or email it out. Or if we were in a physical space, you could write it on the board. All right. I hope everyone is now up to where I am. Let us see if we can move on. So, as I said, this is a course that is populated already. So I would have sent the access code to my students to find out who are the students who have signed into your account or signed into the course. You click on members. When you click on members, all of the members of that particular course comes up. To the right, you have here, I have required approval. If enabled, you will need to approve users before they can join. You can leave it blank if you have no problem with everyone coming in. You can also send parents their own access codes by clicking on where it says parent access codes. So you can generate and send parents their own access codes. All right, so let's go on the courses now. So I have my course. There are two buttons when you go in your courses. Under material, it automatically goes to material. Now here I have add materials. That is the button to do nearly everything that you need to do. So if I need to add material, when I click on it, I can add a folder. So I can create a folder that I'm going to put all of my information in. So let's say I'm adding a folder. Let's say I'm calling my folder electrolysis. All right. I can decide that I want to make my folder a nice color. The description will tell me what is in my folder. So what is, oh, sorry. So in my folder, I have definitions. I have types of electrodes and whatever else that I want to put in there. All right, you don't have to put in a start date, but let's say you want to put in a start date. Let's say you want this folder to become available on the 5th of May. All right. Availability. I can either publish my folder now, I can make it unpublished, meaning that the students won't see it. I can work on it, but the students won't see what is in it until I publish it. I can state what date I want it to be published on. I can state what period I want it to be published on, during, sorry. If I don't put a period, it is there forever and ever. It just remains there once I publish it. All right, so let's say unpublished, and I create. All right. So my folder is here. Notice it is gray because it is unpublished.
Okay. Mrs. Hall,
Mm-hmm.
could you just show them what the home page looks like, please?
Okay, go back to the home page.
Right.
When you click on Schoology, you go back to your home page. And it shows your recent activity. It shows your course dashboard. So when I go in, it will tell me all of what has taken place recently, most recent, and then if I want, I can look at my courses. From here, I can enter my courses also. From here, I can enter my courses also. So I could click on my course and it takes me back to my course page. All right.
Thank you.
Anything that I want to do in my folder, or if I've created some other resource, my gear wheel, my setting wheel is where I go. So I can edit it, which means I can edit anything to do with my folder. I can publish it so that the students can see it. And if I click on publish, it asks, are you sure you want to publish? And it clicks. Now my folder goes to that nice purple color that I had before, that I had chosen when I created my folder. All right. I can unpublish again. It asks if I want to unpublish. I can move my folder. And just give me a second. I can save my folder to resources, or I could delete the folder if I don't want it. All right, so all of that I can do. Under materials, so that was adding a folder. So if you want to organize your all of what you have into nice folders, then you can do that by topic, by a particular unit, whatever it is that you want to do. No. Let me, all right, so I want to add some information. So let's say I want to add a file. I will click on the add file link external tool. When I click on add a file, I can go attach this text box comes up and I go attach. I can go anywhere on my system, anywhere at all on my system. And so I could go to quick access, desktop, anywhere, and add a file from there. And you would simply click on it and the file would be added. All right. If I want to add a link, let's say I wanted to, let's say I wanted to add a YouTube video. So let me go to YouTube. And let me go to electrolysis. All right. And let's say this is the video I want to add. All right. I go to share. I go to embed. And I can basically copy my code, go back to Schoology. The URL sometimes does not work, so embedding the code might be easier because you want to remember when you embed the code, what you do is that you are actually giving the rights to wherever it is that you have gotten that video from. All right, and you go add. Excuse me. All right. Let me move this. And here's my electrolysis video. Now to see whether or not it is actually playing, I can simply go and I play it just to make sure that my students will be able to play it. All right. So I may decide that I don't want to publish this right now. So I unpublish it. It is still there. The students just can't access it right away. All right. Now, if you want to link a quiz from quizzes, if you want to link something from edpuzzle, from padlet, from any other tool, so long as you use the embedded code, it will allow you to link. All right. You can add a page, you can add a media album. There are so many things. And that is why I'm encouraging you to, once we have finished here, because we can't do everything here. Once we're finished here, you go in and you play with it. You go in and you play with it and you ensure that you do as much as you can. Create a dummy class and make the mistakes there if you don't want to make the mistakes in your real class. All right. Any questions about that so far? Mrs. Dawson, any burning thing coming through on the chat? I'll give like a minute for persons to ask questions.
Okay, not so far. It's just that some persons have joined late and they're trying to connect to Schoology. So I am actually typing the instructions. And some persons have not yet passed the course section. They're still asking how it is they create a course. So I have been typing the instructions where that is concerned.
All right. Okay.
And I noticed that some persons are having a problem navigating between their phone, listening to you, watching your screen, and then going to the Schoology.
Okay.
So,
All right. So I will give a few minutes. I
right.
will give a few minutes for persons to catch up, and then because I don't want them to miss the section on how to create a test.
Good morning again. I noticed that there are some raised hands, if you could address those.
All right. What did I do? I stopped sharing my screen.
Hello, can you hear me?
Sure. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, hi. Thanks for doing this, by the way. I love the online classrooms. What I've noticed in a few years, I don't know if it's my YouTube is old, but I can't do any embed. When I click share, it only sends like email, WhatsApp. There's no embed anymore. So what I've been doing was to copy the URL at the top and paste it in my Google Classroom. That's the only thing I can do. I don't get embed options anymore.
Oh,
I don't know how come, but every time I click share, that's what happens.
okay. Oh, so you have been copying the URL.
At the top. That's what I do. The video shows in there still. You can click on the video, but I cannot embed. It says like add to Dropbox, Bluetooth, email, Gmail, Google, messaging, save to sync because I have a sync folder and WhatsApp. Those are the only options I have when I click share.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, it does says URL or embed code.
Okay.
It's just that and I usually use the embed code because most programs, once you use the embed code, they play smoothly. But you can
Right.
try the URL.
Yeah, I prefer the embed too, but I don't get the option.
Okay.
Unfortunately. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much for pointing that out.
Mrs. Hall,
Yes.
could you go over the item that should be clicked for the videos, please? Persons are asking.
Okay. All right. So let's go again. So you go to add material. Remember, that is our go-to button for everything that we want to add. And we're going to add file or link or external tool. You're going to click on that. This text box comes up and you choose what it is that you want to add. So we want to add a link. And you're going to, I do it the short way, where you go to what it is that you want. And all right, let's see. I'm trying to find another video.
You could select the share button underneath.
Sorry. Miss Hall, Mrs. Dawson,
Yes, ma'am?
may I take this moment to welcome our CEO to the session, Dr. Gordon. I'm going to open her mic so she can say good morning to the teachers.
Okay, sure.
Dr. Gordon.
Hello. Good morning, teachers.
Good morning, Dr. Gordon.
It's nice to see some of you. I can see you, and I can see the list of teachers participating. We do appreciate your efforts. And I'm sure the children will appreciate the lessons too. Thank you for joining, and please encourage your other colleagues to join the JTC sessions. We're there to support you. Enjoy your class.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. All right, so you would go to YouTube, you would find the video, select the video that you want, and then you would click on share. And I like to, you can either copy the URL or you can click on embed and the code comes up. I simply highlight, or you could just click copy and go back. Paste it where it says link or URL. Name your video, whatever it is. So you can give it whatever title. I'm just naming it according to the topic. And then I simply add that. All right, you check down here, you can click on it to ensure that it plays. You can decide if you want to publish it immediately or make it unpublished. Someone's mic is open. All right. Was there any other question, Mrs. Dawson?
Are you the clerk or whatever?
There's a raise.
I have addressed most of what I see.
Mhm.
Nothing burning so far,
Okay.
except for those teachers who are trying to use their student account. Please remember, you need to sign up as an instructor with a different email.
All right. Patricia Peters, I see your hand. I'm going to unmute your mic if you have a question. Go ahead, Patricia Peters.
No, I'm sorry about that. I don't have a question. I don't know when that happened.
Okay, not a problem.
Mhm.
All right, Mrs. Dawson, you think I can move on now?
Yes, you can.
All right. All right, so teachers, as I said, the important thing, anything that you want to do, in your course, you go to add materials. All right, your option button, simply for student completion, you can put a tick, you can save everything. The other thing is that everything that you do now, you can save it to resources. And when you save it to resources, it means that it is there for you to use over and over again. So next year you get a similar set of students with the same syllabus. You can create their groups and you can move everything from resources over to their courses without a problem. And I'm going to show you that after we have looked at our test creation. All right, so I want to add a test or a quiz. And let's go to the theme of electrolysis. Let's say my test or my quiz is going to be on May 12th. All right, let's say I am doing a 50 points test. And it is a test. and I'm going to create. So this is what comes up when you create. All right. So I'm going to add questions now. Now, you have the options true and false, multiple choice, ordering, short answer or essay type questions, fill in the blank, matching. You can take your questions from a question bank. So under resources, you may have created a question bank and you decide that you're going to take the questions from there. You can import a test or quiz. All right, so multiple choice. It's a multiple choice that I'm doing. All right, the electrolysis. Electrolysis. I don't type very fast, so just give me of brine results in the following gas being given off at the anode. All right, hydrogen, oxygen, chlorine, and nitrogen, no. Yeah, nitrogen. All right. Now, so these are my choices. My correct answer is chlorine. So you would tick the correct answer. Now, it could have been that you don't want 4 choices, so you would click remove blanks. If you want 5 choices instead, you can add more choices. Now, this is the beauty that I love about Schoology tests, and especially for multiple choice. I can randomize my choices, which means that not every student will see choice 1 as hydrogen because they're going to randomize them, which is why it is not A, B, C, D, and you have to click the correct answer. Let's say I had, I had 2 or 3 choices that were correct. And the students, you had one of those choices where 3 choices are correct. And they say, choose all of the choices that are potentially correct. Then you could click partial credit. I can also time this question. So I could decide that I want 1.5 minutes for this question. When I time the question, it means that after 1.5 minutes, they need to move on to the next question. My grading point is 1. I create my question. All right. So when I look, this is my question. I know it's a multiple choice. I know it is worth 1 mark, and I know that I've put in a time of 1.5 on the question. Again, I can go to my little gear, I can edit it, or I can add it to the bank right now, or I can delete it. All right. Now, the multiple choice questions are marked for you by the system. So if I have a straight multiple choice test, at the end of the test, I simply go in on the results and I will see the results for each student. True and false is my next. I'm going to do true and false. And this is also marked by the system. All right, so electrolysis. Of brine produces sodium chloride. All right. Now here, you could have your correct answer is false. Let's say I require a correction if false. So they need to, if they give false as their answer, they need to give me the correct answer. So I could say electrolysis of brine produces sodium hydroxide. All right. And here it says 50%. So if the student entered phrases incorrect, this percentage of the question points should be subtracted. All right. So it's a timed question. And let's say I give 2 minutes for the question. And let's say the number of points I'm giving is 2. I create my question. All right. And the third type that I want, and fill in the blank matching, all of those are also, and ordering are also marked by the system. What is not marked by the system is your short answer essay type question. So, for example, outline the processes involved in the purification, in the production of aluminium from bauxite. All right. So I'm timing this. I'm giving them 10 minutes to do this. This is worth 10 marks. And I create. All right, so these are the questions on my test. The multiple choice will be marked by the system. The true and false will be marked by the system. However, I will need to go in and mark the essay type, short answer essay type question. When my students are finished doing the test, all right, so the final score is what I would see If it is fully multiple choice, all of that would be marked already. It will tell you when the students have attempted, how many submissions they have made out of how many attempts. So let me go in and set up my tests. So my instructions are answer all the questions, answer all questions, give full details, for any processes required. All right. Now, because I've timed, so submission here is disabled. Enable submission from. So I can now set the date that I want to start, and I'm enabling it from the 5th of the 5th and from 8 a.m. And they have until the 6th of the 5th at 8 a.m. So they have a 24-hour period in which they can go in and do the test. You can limit it however you want to limit it. All right, time limit is going to remain no, because I've limited the time on each of the questions. All right, number of attempts, I'm limiting them to 1 attempt. You could decide that you want them to do it 2 times and you're going to take the best one. Randomize the order, yes. If I randomize the order, it means that each student will see the questions in a different order. So each student will see the question in a different order, and therefore it makes it more difficult under these conditions where they're at home and they can communicate with each other. It makes it a little more difficult for them to cheat. And it gives you a truer picture of what it is that they know. All right. Resumable. You could make it, I put mine as no, so that when they sit down, they go through and do the test. If you make it yes, it means that they can start, they can stop, they can go and take a break and come back. If it's not a graded test, it's a practice test, and you can make it resumable. All right. View submissions, you can say yes. They can view the submission. Therefore, any corrections, any comments that you write, you will see. They will see, sorry. They can view submission with correct answers. It means that, for example, if it's a fully multiple choice test, immediately as they complete the test, they will be able to see their grades and any correct answers. If you are guaranteed that they're not going to be able to communicate with each other, then yes, you can do that. Or you can simply put yes, where they see their grades. When everyone has completed the test, you can then go in and change that to yes with correct answers. All right, you save your changes. All right, if you preview, what you preview is, it is due on, it tells you when it is that it is due, when it is that you have posted it, and the instructions. All right, let me go back and let me show you. All right, so here under my reminders, you see my electrolysis test is set for Tuesday, May 12th, 2020. It also so that's my upcoming event. if you, all right, for example now. All right, so I gave my students a set of problems to do as homework, all right? And when I go under when you look at the problem, to the right, it tells me how many persons have submitted. So 21 out of 23. Well, actually everybody submitted. But some persons were having difficulties, so they submitted. This tells me that the student submitted late. So the late submitters, you see late beside them, so you can tell immediately. Now, you can click on the students and it will, you can load up or you can download. What my students did, they did a problem, 2 problems, and they wrote them in their notebooks, and then they took pictures and uploaded the pictures. You can download these and use markup to mark them and then re-upload them. The grade, it tells you what the grade is, and once you put in the grade, then the students will be able to view. You can write comments for the students. So here, the student submitted here, my comment was very good, the grade was 20 out of 20. All right. All right, any questions with tests and assignments before I move on to resources?
Okay, Mrs. Hall.
Mhm.
Persons were asking if documents could be copied from Word to the question bank. The answer is yes, you could copy the question from Word to the section where you needed to type the test. But for the choices, you will have to select the choices so that Schoology will be able to mark that test. Heard that, Mrs. Hall?
Yes, I heard you.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that persons saw exactly heard you. But yes, you can use alternatives. All right.
First, Mrs. Hall,
Yes.
persons were asking how it is you delete a course. I typed responses, but you could show them on the screen.
Okay, sure. I will show them.
Okay.
What's up? All right. So courses, my courses. All right. You see this little gear that that you have? Anything at all that you want to do with any resource, any piece of material, any course, you go to your settings button, your gear button, and you click on the down arrow and it will give you all of what you need to do. So you can edit your course here. You can edit members of your course from here. You can copy a section, you can archive a section, and you can delete. So you would simply click on delete. It asks if you're sure you want to delete, and you delete the course. All right. And it is gone. So it is quite simple. Anything to do with courses, you go to my course. Anything to do with materials, you go in the course itself. You go in the course itself and you add your material. If the material is there already, we're going to our little star or gear or whatever you want to say that shape is, and you click on the down arrow and you manipulate from there. All right. All right. Resources. Now, again, in resources, we have our two buttons. Our go-to button in resources is add resources. Just like how it's add material in courses, it's add resources. Again, here, we have a full list of things that we can add, and it is similar to what we would have done. So you can add a folder, add an assignment, add a test or a quiz, assessment, all of these things you can add. The thing you can add to your question bank. So it's a summer and you have some questions that you know that you want to use in the upcoming school year. You're not really ready to make the test as yet because you want to meet the students, but you have some courses that you want to add. You have some questions that you know you would like to use this upcoming school year. You can add them to your question bank. And then when you're creating your tests, you will add them to your tests. Any further questions? So resource works just like courses. It's just that once you have something in a resource, so for example, you have some information for grade 10, all right? And you have like 2 or 3 grade 10 classes. You can create the information in resource, and then you can add it to a course. So if I had 3 grade 10 classes, I create my folder for acids, bases, and salt. This is for grade 10. I could then click on add to course, and my 3 grade 10 classes would come up. I simply tick the ones that I wanted. If I have a folder that I specifically wanted to go in, then I can put it in the folder and I click add. So anything that I have in this folder that I've created in resources, I can now move to my course and move to multiple courses all at once. All right, it's the same thing. Let's say this is a test, all right? And I want to add the test to the course. Let's say I had 3 classes, 3 courses. So I had I'd created 3 courses for my 3 different grade 10 classes. Then I click on add to course. I choose the course that I wanted. If there is a folder, I put it as a folder. What date? I can set the date for each of the classes differently and then simply just add the test right across the board. So what I have personally been doing is a lot of the things I do them in resource and then move them over. But you can create them under your courses and then add them to resources so that you're able to redistribute or you have it for the following year. Any other questions? Mrs. Dawson, are you seeing any major questions in the chat? All right, I see someone is asking the MCQ with 1, 2, and 4 only. Is this available? For those types, you would have to type out the choices as a part of the question, and then your choice would be 1, 2, 4, 1 and 2. So where you have choice 1, choice 2, choice 3, just like how you would have A, B, C, D, and you would have to put the answers there, it's the same way that you would have to do those. Unless you want to put the statements 1, 2, 3, 4 and click on the ones that are correct. Click on the ones that are correct, and then it's still 1 mark and there is no partial credit for it. So you could manipulate it that way. Are there any other questions? Yes, you can record a video yourself and add it just like how you would record the video and put it as a file. Remember I said that you can, and I'm going to do it on the resource. So where you have add a file. So if you recorded the video and it is saved on your system as a video file, then you would go on your system, on your PC, and you would find your video and simply upload it. Now, let's say you did a video and your video is on YouTube, then you can add the link as we stated before. So you would be able to add the link. All right, I'm not seeing any further questions. As I indicated, this would have been a 1 hour to 1 hour and 15 minutes. All right, for badges, you can create your badges. So you can decide, all right, let's go on the courses. You can decide to create, so you have some badges that are there. Perfect attendance, good listener, homework, leadership, and then you can add badges if you want to add badges also. So you can, there are some that are already preloaded in the system, but you can also create your own badges. All right, and you would simply tick the badge that you want and indicate which student is supposed to. So you want to add, so if you want to add badge, you can create a new badge. You can import a badge that you added in resources, or you can use the Schoology badges.
Mrs. Hall?
Uh-huh.
Yes. Could you go back to the area where they create the test again for me, please? And let them know that they can add pictures to their tests that they are creating, because that platform works as a word processor as well. Could you just go through that for them, please?
All right. All right. Let me go back to my tests and just. All right, so, oh no, let me click on my tests. All right, so I'm adding a question. Remember that here is where your question goes. So in actuality, you can add pictures, you can add a video clip, anything that you would be able to do, because you can insert a link. If we go across, you can bold, italics, everything. So this area works as your word processor. And anything that you could do in your Word document for your test, you can do it here also. So you can put in a link, you can insert a table, insert content, whatever it is that you need to do, you can do it. So you're not limited to just multiple choice. So you're not just limited, to words. You can, anything that you can do with your word processor, you can do here. So you can insert graphs, diagrams, pictures, videos, all of that. Anything you wanted to add, Mrs. Dawson?
No, that is okay. Thank you.
All right.
One teacher is requesting a demonstration of how to upload a Google Doc multiple choice. I was telling her that she would need to download that document and upload the questions and type her choices. I don't know if you could demonstrate same for her if you have any Google Docs on your computer or if you have the time.
Yeah. No, I don't have the Google Docs. But remember, we had said that that you could import your tests.
Right.
We had said that you could import your tests. So where add material, where it says add tests, after your tests, you have the option of importing a test. Also, what you can do, I'm trying to find the link without having to go all the way back to creating a test. Add material. Course. All right. Let me go back here. All right, add question. So you can import your test or quiz. So I'm trying to find, there is a special way to import it. I'm not remembering right now.
Click on.
When you click on import, it is taking you specifically to Blackboard or Edmastery that you would import from. but there is a way to import it from your Google Docs.
I usually download it and upload it.
Right. Because it's so much easier when you download it to your system, then you
Right.
can simply upload it
Upload
from
it
your
to
system.
your,
Yeah.
that is what I do. So you would download the docs on your system and
Right.
upload it to your test bank.
Yeah. And upload it to your test bank, and then you take the questions that you want from your test bank or the entire test.
Right.
All right. Are there any other burning questions in the chat? All right. Mrs. Wilmot, someone is saying that their internet is fluctuating. So they would like the recorded version. Mrs. Wilmot will send out the recorded version. Several persons are having challenges with their internet. So, but Mrs. Wilmot will send out the recorded version. All right, if there are no other burning issues, I would like to thank you teachers for your participation and for your attention this morning. And as I said at the beginning, it's a user-friendly LMS. All you need to do, take some time and go in, play with it, create a dummy class, try all the buttons, try to do everything. You will find that you will learn, the instructions are there. And the beauty about this is once you have done this, all you need to do is to tweak it each year for your different for your new sets of students. So you may want to remove something, add something, but it's all there in resources. And from you have it in resources, you can decide what it is that you're going to do with each set. All right.
It's a very user-friendly platform. And when you give your tests and the students would have completed their tests, Schoology marks those tests and you can go back and see them. There's also the grade book that would give you a list of their students. Once you would have given the students the access code, then all those students would have been in your class. You do not have to type the names of your students in your class. Once they have joined, that list is generated automatically. Once the students' grades are in, you can always go to your gradebook and view all the students who would have completed their test, and you will see the marks that would have been allotted to each student. So it is that flexible.
All right, so again, teachers, thank you so much for your time and for your participation. And of course, the recording, Mrs. Wilmot will make that available to you, and enjoy, have fun with it.
Yes.
It is a great LMS for you to use with your students. Thank you very much.